Hello. Poker needs more players like Ren Lin. He is always smiling, talking and joking, and at the same time his game is very entertaining to watch. He started from the bottom, playing the lowest buy in tournaments, and in 2021 he did play his first high roller. Today he is second on Chinese all-time money list, and that is very impressive when we take into account that his biggest cash is only $1 million. Today we're going to look at his play on the final table in the last GG Millions tournament. These are usually stacked, and here it was no difference because he had to face players like Biao Ding, who is just behind Ren in the Chinese list, Yuri Dziwielewski, numero un brasileiro, or Jesse Lonis and Juan Pardo, who are regulars in our videos, both with around 14 millions in live earnings. His motto is no gamble, no future, so let's see how he applies it in a pool full of sharks. First hand is where things went south for him. Juan Pardo, as the shortest stack, jammed his 11 big blinds. He should play around 60% of hands here, mostly with jams and some smaller raises, and king 9 off is perfectly fine. Ren snapped with ace deuce off, and in vacuum this isn't the best calling hand, cause it very rarely dominates other hands, but in this scenario it's just good enough. Because Juan is the shortest stack, his bubble factor isn't very high, and this is the perfect spot for him to earn some chips. Also, Lin can afford to call and lose and still continue with playable stack, so there is not that much ICM pressure here. Second hand was the first step on his comeback. Biao Ding jammed his king-jack off from the hijack. This shows the ability of chip leader to leverage his stack in this position. If we look at chip EV ranges, he should be opening around quarter of hands with no jams. But when we factor in ICM, we can see that he can be 2 times wider and should split his range into small raises with hands he wants to induce or fold after 3-bet, and just jamming all the middling hands. Ren Lin called, and this is another hand where it's correct, but almost on the edge, as he should start folding ace-jack off in this situation. If we look at Juan Pardo's range on the cutoff, ace-queen off is actually a fold there, so we see how close it is. Third hand is a blind-on-blind battle. Ren limped with king-queen off, as he should with his whole range. This is a spot where, as a middle stack, he should be very careful against players that cover him. Jesse Lonis raised 9-7 off, and this is a small mistake. He can attack this limp quite a lot because of the ICM situation, but he can't go crazy because Lin's range isn't capped here, as he can still have all the strong hands. Solver raises either worse hands like 9-4 off or 10 deuce off, or hands that we're happy to stack off like 10s plus. Ren limp jammed his hand. We can see that he still has room to raise smaller with absolute nuts and should always jam hands like ace-king or ace-queen. King-queen off is mostly calling but can take all the actions, and Ren Lin is a player that usually chooses violence. Next hand, Lin raised with pocket 8s on the cutoff. There is one shorter and one similar stack, so he should be very tight here, opening only around 15% of hands. Ding Biao rejammed ace-8 off. This is a mistake, and what is surprising for me, that solver doesn't want to jam any hands in this situation. It just raises small with top of the range for value and some offsuit trash with blockers as a bluff. Ren Lin snap called, and this is probably okay, especially when he knows that Ding might be too loose in this spot. In theory this hand is break-even and might be as well folded, but we already know that Ren is a believer of the principle that ICM is for poor people. He also showed that approach in the next hand. It starts with a raise from small blind with ace-queen off, and this is a mistake. Same as in our third hand, he should just limp here with the whole range. We don't want to build a pot out of position against the only player we should avoid. Jesse 3-bet this opened, as in theory putting pressure on second stack is a good strategy, but he definitely is pushing this idea a little bit too far, as 5 deuce off should be just a pure fold, and his 3-bets should have at least some good blockers. He got punished when Ren decided to jam his hand. Solver doesn't love that, but if our opponent is crazy enough to 3-bet us with 5 deuce off, then this play becomes much better. That's all for today. I hope you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Bye!